Morning, Mr. Toby Dog.
Today's video is sponsored by Magic Spoon.
How's it going, buddy? Looking good. You're looking real good today. You've been running around in the tall grass. I can tell how soggy you are. Come on, guys. Hello, bud. It's your favorite. You waiting for Pablo to join you? Good morning, Goose Squad. How's everybody doing today? Still doing the good work in there, Mother Goose? Any progress? You know, you're gonna get evicted pretty soon. Based on my calendar, she should be hatching right about now. I don't know what's up. Release the Quackers! Good morning, chickens. How is everybody today? Good morning, not so baby goslings. So our little baby goslings aren't such little baby goslings anymore. The larger batch of goslings are a little over 4 weeks old, and the younger batch of goslings are about 3 weeks old. And so today I think they're ready for an important developmental milestone. Today I'm gonna release my goslings into the wild. What I plan to do is actually let them loose and run around the farm. I'll still obviously lock them up and keep them in the brooder house during the night because they still require heat lamps, especially the younger ones. But for today, what I'm gonna do is actually just give them some supervised free-ranging time. It's all part of my process of letting them get used to being a part of the farm. Probably in about 2 weeks, I will let both classes of goslings, both the little ones and the bigger ones, go free and just basically integrate in with the rest of the goose flocks. But I know that that process is always a little tough, and it's always gonna be a little hard because they tend to get bullied by the larger geese. But because I've been keeping the goslings here on the farm and they've been outside every day and the other geese have been seeing them, I actually think they shouldn't get too bad of a hazing as they first get introduced, and they should integrate in pretty nicely too because none of them are physically as challenging as any of the other adult birds I have here on the farm. But of course, this is the part of the video where I must disclaim that I'm doing this a little bit in a test and learn basis. And so if you're trying to do something at home, don't just follow this as a guide. Actively challenge and question everything I am doing in this video, please. How's it going in here? Any progress on your nest? Not in here? Nope, you still don't have an egg. I bet she's gonna go lay an egg. And that goose has given up on its nest. And the geese that were in here, they've given up on their nest about, I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago. You guys can't wait for me to feed you, huh? Now, depending on how the goslings and the adult geese interact, this could be a very short experiment, but I really think the little ones are gonna enjoy eating lots of fresh grass. So let's see how this goes. Okay, freedom time for the little ones. Let you guys go. While the goslings figure out how an open gate works, I figured I'd come inside here and have just a quick breakfast.
Because I don't want to skip breakfast.
Well, guess what? I'm serving knuckle sandwiches for breakfast.
As a lot of you folks know, I'm a huge cereal fan, but I don't like how most cereals have just a ton of sugar. And that's why I love the sponsor of today's video, Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon is cereal reinvented. It has 0 grams of sugar and 14-ish grams of protein in each bowl, and it tastes amazing. Magic Spoon is sugar-free, keto-friendly, low-carb, soy-free, grain-free, GMO-free, gluten-free, and the cereal only has about 140 calories per serving. The Magic Spoon variety pack comes with 4 delicious flavors like cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter. They also put out special flavors like this super soft bowl of birthday cake flavored cereal that I'm rocking here this morning. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product that it's backed by a 100% happiness guarantee. If you don't like it, they will give you a refund, no questions asked. Click on the link down below and use the code GOLDSHAW to get $5 off your order. What flavor are you gonna try?
Back to chorin'.
Hey Toby, come here. I think you might be scaring him. To me, there's something always so magical about watching birds go free for the first time. It's like they're discovering and unlocking a whole new part of the world. For these little goslings, they're tentative too, because when you think about a gosling and the way its brain is wired, threat detection is one of the highest and most important functions that it has. So while there's a certain joy for when they get to go free and they can pick out some grass, they also do seem to feel a measure of anxiety and trepidation when they first take those couple steps out. But once they discovered that fresh grass, it was full on. I was admittedly a little bit worried that they were gonna bite the grounding rod a little too hard there for our electric fence, but for the most part they did okay. The other thing I like to watch for in moments like this on the farm is just how Toby Dog reacts. Because he's got that paternalistic instinct bred into him, and in the way he watches these baby birds. And it's not like he's overbearing about it either. He just likes to sit back and watch and see how they're doing and be in their presence. Like, you notice he's not like on the back pasture or something, he's right close with them. But at the same time, he knows enough that if he were to stare them down, he'd probably scare them away. So he very intentionally isn't using his predator's eye on these little baby goslings. I really like the behavior I'm seeing here. They seem very comfortable, relaxed. The pen over here just feels like an extension of where they've been staying for the last couple of weeks. They're starting to drift out. You got some of the ducks and chickens wandering over, but there's no real heavy interaction or aggression that you're seeing. This is good progress. We're gonna keep going slow here.
Given the age of some of the older birds, I think they're also finding a lot of joy in having those open waterers. One big difference between ducks and geese, while geese will like to swim and splash in the water, they are nowhere nearly as chaotic and messy as the ducks will be. And that's one of the reasons why I, generally speaking, prefer geese over ducks, because it's just a lot easier to raise them. Managing water with ducks is hard. Managing water with geese is not too bad.
Now you can see the goslings starting to discover more grass. They're going to probably start going from over there to drifting down here and then over to there and probably start working the border. When they're this age, they can't get enough of that fresh grass.
And there they go. They're starting to migrate to the full parts of grass pasture, and that's their bread and butter right there. I think it's really important to let your goslings have access to fresh grass as young as you can, as long as you can do it safely, because there's so much good nutrition and just experience that they get by eating that grass versus if they were to only be eating, like chicken feed or duck feed or something like that. The balance of their nutrition, it's so much better with the fresh grass. And then you can just see it right here. They're so joyful. Nothing makes me happier too than seeing little baby geese like start to test out their wings and see how they work, because that's a whole thing unto itself. Uh-oh. Here come the parents. Now, even though these goslings are hatched from eggs that come from the other geese on our farm, the parents do not recognize the younglings. They are seen as a potential threat and a potential risk,
but not something that requires like full-on crazy violence. And so what you see here is a lot of the behavior where the older geese are intimidating the younger geese and really trying to push them out of their space. That's an important function from a social perspective for the goslings and the geese, because that's how the flock coalesces, and that's how essentially that pecking order gets established. But of course, it doesn't make it any less scary for the young goslings there. Yeah, the goslings are like, yeah, you guys can have that grass. We're gonna stick over here with the water. The chickens, they don't bother us nearly as much, so we'll just stick with that. Oh, poor little one just got chomped on by that gander. He's actually one of the biggest ganders on our farm, and he's definitely a boss goose, for sure. He's like, I want to drink from that water. I don't know why. But at the same time, I know that I don't have to worry about things getting too out of hand, because whenever there's a really big goose fight, Toby's usually on hand to try to break up the goose fight, and so this is just very, very mild goose interactions that we're seeing here. Nothing too problematic.
So it seems like so far so good with the little gosling experiment. They're out, they're wandering around, they're interacting with different parts of the farm. The adults are still definitely getting testy with them. And really that behavior is going to continue for a couple of weeks. It's essentially how the geese are establishing their pecking order and hierarchy. Class structure exists upon all walks of life, even around the barnyard. And actually, if you guys are curious about that topic, you should check out this video here I made about the politics of our farm. It's kind of interesting to see how all the animals interact together, and I promise you it's not like political in a human sense. So check it out. Thanks for watching, guys.